Hey addicts, welcome back to another video. This time we're talking about Arifureta Zero. Yes, you heard me right. We're talking about Arifureta again. I know it's been a long while. I think it's almost been a year since we last talked about Arifureta. But we're back. We're not talking about the main series though. We are talking about the prequel series, Arifureta Zero, which I know, a very original name. But yeah, I wanted to mix it up. I had read this series, or I had, been keeping up with this series for a while since it did its English releases, and we just never got around to it. And I feel like this was the perfect time to bring it back and talk about it. I just finished one of the volumes again, so yeah, we're gonna start with volume 1. I will say, man, there's a lot of information that is packed in these volumes, so I'm not gonna cover everything. Otherwise, it would just be a super long video. But I'm gonna try to do my best to give the information that newcomers might want to hear, as well as, some fans of the main series that are looking at this, as well as maybe people that just read it a while ago and want to voice their opinion. So let's dive into it. So talking about Arifureta Zero, Volume 1, we get a look at the Liberators and how they were centuries ago. Now, that is going to be the main focus of the series, is kind of not how the Liberators formated in the original sense, but how kind of like the A-team of the Liberators came to be and their fight against the god of the world. So if you're somebody that's never read Arifureta at all, whether it be Zero or the main series, kind of the setup is it's a fantasy world that has a corrupt god, which, yes, I know, very kind of what would you call it? Not cliche, but run-of-the-mill, I guess, of anime fantasy stories somewhat. But there is this evil god manipulating the pawns of the world, the nations, giving them different morals and then putting them against each other. There's a lot of not only mystery, but also kind of almost espionage type level work here, mischievousness. And you have the kind of the puppets of the god, as well as kind of its own beings that it creates. And yeah, the world's just not a great place. And these people, certain group of people, decided that it's enough, and they're going to not only stand up against the people that worship the god, but the god himself. So there is that really cool, almost you and your buddies against the world type feeling that it has. And yeah, if you've read the mainline series, obviously kind of the main mission of that story is in this as well. But there's I'm not going to try to unpack everything if you don't know anything about the main series. But there is that history there that kind of has some preconceived notions of going into this series if you've read that one. So I guess let me talk to the fans of Arifureta, the mainline series, right first. So much like me, I've read the mainline series and I love it. It's one of my favorite books that I've read. I know I don't read a whole lot, but I do enjoy the main series a lot. And going into this, knowing that these characters that are going to be the main focus weren't really a big part in an active way, right? From the main series, and kind of being a little uneven or worried about, how entertaining is this going to be? I know I love the characters of the main party in the main series, but how are these gonna, live up since we don't really know about them? And I think the book does a really good job of not spoon-feeding you too much or kind of recapping things that you already know if you're a mainline reader, but also introducing the things that do matter, right? The characters that we don't necessarily know a lot about, giving you backstory of them, as well as just kind of giving you a flavor for their personality and seeing how they're going to click and mesh with the other Liberators or their other allies. For those reading the new series or reading this as a new series, this is I would say, what would you call that? An ensemble cast. So a lot of these characters, none of them really takes the sole protagonist role, but if you were going to have somebody that kind of has that, I guess, in essence, it would be Milady Rison, who is the leader of this group that's going up against the world and God, which are the Liberators. And fans, again, of the main series will know mostly about her other than the other Liberators, but she is, this girl with a complicated family origin and past, and, has kind of this undying light to, get her ideals and, her mission accomplished for the sake of everybody that lives in this shared space, right? So with her, we also get an emphasis, or I guess the recruitment of Oscar Orcus, which is really cool. I think a lot of people will maybe gravitate towards him as one of those characters that you love the most, maybe, or maybe one of your favorites, because there's a lot of things about him that's kind of cool in terms of his versatility and kind of things that he can craft, as well as you get a showcase of Nyes, who is another liberator as well, that is kind of showcased towards the middle or end of the book. Now, just because I say that there is a lot of, setup and kind of, introducing you to things, again, like I said, it does a great job for, I think, both kinds of readers. For those that are, already, already fans of the series, you're going to get information run down, obviously for those new readers, but it's not going to be as, I would say, in-depth or tedious, or at least, I don't know, like maybe it's just that you're going to be able to grasp it a little bit better, so those parts will seem a little bit faster to you. But I think for those that are returning or just need a refresher, maybe it's been a while since you've read the series, I think it, deals that information, clearly and concisely. Now, I think a highlights of this book just overall is in the same way that I would give a lot of this author's other work. It's very consistent. There is a great balance of, different themes, whether it has those darker elements that, have to deal with the world itself, the past of the characters, kind of, their overall mission, but as well as mixing in or, inserting those comedic or lighthearted moments where they're kind of necessary sometimes or just, feel right. And I think that really elevates the characters too, just giving them, that more sense of being alive and being, actual people. And then, again, like the author does a great job of comedy, so I really, maybe it's just because I have a similar sense of humor maybe, or I just appreciate the references that he makes, but there is a lot of great comedy in that as well. Not only with, what might actually be going on, but just how the author writes, even if it's not something that the characters are saying, the way that he is telling you things, he makes maybe references or kind of lets you, have a comparison that, if you're into pop culture or something like that, you probably will get as a reader. So I like that kind of style. The other big part of this series and also this first volume is action. Well, just because they set up a lot of this, they have to set up these characters, kind of introducing you, as well as, kind of just introducing you to the world as well, right? There is a lot of, I don't want to say downtime, but, I guess you could quote them as slower moments, because there's not life and death things going on. But they really do balance that well and give you several fights, big fights, I will say. You could even call them battles if you want, throughout the book. There's a really good one that sticks out to me in the first part of the volume, as well as in the middle and very ending. And I think people that read the mainline series, there's enough connected tissue / Easter eggs in this series that will get you kind of giddy or kind of put a smile on your face, like, oh, so we're going to see this. Oh, that's cool. I wonder, how it's going to shape up power level wise, or, oh, like, so this is where this kind of came from that we see, kind of mushed together, connected later on in the mainline series. Because, this does take place centuries before the first main series. but you know, there's a lot of things I want to bring up points about, you know, because you know it's just hard to pick and choose which ones are the most concise for you to know about if you know you're a returning reader or a new reader. But yeah, there's definitely, I would say, at the core, just really well done comedy, really done pacing. I think everything is, you know, I think out of the 3 volumes I've read of this series, or at least this line of it, it's been paced really well. But the first volume is probably the slowest, and that's only just because, like, you know, you're getting the ball rolling right when it was at a stop, right? So, but the next volumes really do pick up speed even more. But I feel like the first volume still has really good pacing, and there's not really any part of the book that lulls, especially if you know, everything's kind of cooking like it was for me. I don't know. I think people that like the mainline series will like this. I know a lot of people in the mainline series, or at least fans of that, really do like the after story as like their, I guess, favorite thing, and which is fine. I mean, I've read some of it and I did enjoy it, but to me, I feel like if you like all of the points or like elements that are showcased in the other one, or you just like the ones like I mentioned, like, you know, action, comedy, you know, kind of like has that kind of mixture of fantasy slash, you know, pulp culture influence things, or sci-fi even, I think, you know, you'll really dig this series. You know, I would kind of attribute this more so in like series like maybe Danmachi, or that time I got reincarnated as a slime, or maybe even Overlord. It just has that more family feel to it in terms of the level of, I guess, kind of camaraderie and love that the characters have. It's just a different feel than the main series party. But like I said, there is elements that draw from the characters of the mainline series that you'll definitely see and notice if you've read that and have that prior knowledge. But I think they differentiate themselves enough that it's you love them for, you know, just as them, not because they remind you of anything or you think they're like you know, a copy of it. I think they just work really well on their own, and having you know, a story centered around them that still is just as entertaining. I think the way that he sets up his world and kind of all these different pieces working together, I don't know, just something about it. I've always been really attached to it and find it really intriguing. Okay, so I had to shoehorn this in because I'm pretty sure I forgot to say the rating at all. So this would be an FFA in my opinion. It's just firing on all cylinders here. You got great characters, great action, great comedy, very ingenious ideas in terms of, you know, abilities people can use, kind of avenues he takes the story. Just made me really look forward to the side series next installments as much as the main series, and I can't wait to see more from the author, honestly, even outside of Arifureta. Very talented man, so you can go check out his stuff. But get back to the video. But I don't want to make the video too long, guys. I want to try to keep this short. If you do have any questions, or you want to bring up a discussion or a topic, or, you know, anything about this series or Arifureta related in general, just comment down in the comment box. We have reviews of all of the main series, well, not all of them, but a lot of them. So you can go check that out. I'll try to link that here at the end. So we do have a lot of people, I still think, that are subscribed or, you know, view our channel, that are fans of that, you know. So if, you know, I don't have the answers for you, then maybe somebody else does. But I'm always open to talk about it. You know, if you're wanting any more, it is kind of hard to fill everything, like I said, in one video. But I think we'll be able to expound a little bit more in the next volume reviews, which keep in mind, or keep an eye out for, because we will be back for the next volume reviews, and I'm going to try to, you know, keep consistent with them, because reading something that is hard for me, but I feel like it's harder for me to stop and then get back into versus just keeping on a relatively consistent reading schedule. But anyway, guys, I'm going to shut this down. Hope you guys go check it out. I thought it was really enjoyable, and I will just see you for the next one. Oh, but I will say real quick, even though this is a video about the light novel volume 1, the series is actually already printed into a manga, so you can go check that out as well, which is funny because some of the characters, seeing them showcased in kind of manga form or, seeing them drawn is a lot different than, maybe you imagine them. I thought it was funny because when I read the volume on the light novel, I was like, wait, so Oscar sounds like he's really different looking than I thought. And then I looked at the manga, I was like, damn, he looks like Jin from Samurai Champloo almost. It was just not what I was expecting at all. But I don't know, it's just really cool to get sometimes that visual help even when you, perceive it as something else when you're reading. But like I said, guys, getting away. I gotta shut it down. I'm gonna talk too much if I let it go on. So I'll see you guys for volume 2, and go check out other stuff. Anyway, guys, peace.